That's so awesome. So welcome. All right.
All right, maybe we can get started and continue with our topic from last week. And then if we have time, we can have them talk more about themselves, okay?
Okay, that sounds good. Now, I think maybe everyone in our are not maybe participants in this class, but I do see a few other students, so maybe we'll have further introductions a little later.
Okay, okay.
But for everyone who is just joining us, and welcome to our new students. So, are some students that you'll see and that you'll hear from soon were in our previous session, and so during that session, they learned a lot about the Olympics and some different grammar topics that were related to conversations that we might have about the Olympics. So, tonight, we have some presentations from some of our previous students. And during that presentation, it'll be a little bit of a conversation. So I am hoping that many of you will participate. But before we get started, let's do something fun first. So, first, I want to play a little game, and I'm going to call it the questions game. Some people may know it by 20 questions, but I will call it the questions game. And so, for this game, it is very easy. I'm going to have one of our students from the previous session pick one Olympic sport. And then once they have the sport picked in their mind, the other students will have an opportunity to ask a yes or no question. So, a yes or no question is one that someone could answer with yes or no. So, you could say something like, is it a team sport? And the person could say yes or no. And so each person will get a chance to ask one question and then try to guess. Try to guess what sport they're talking about. And if you can't guess, we'll go to the next student. And we will do that until there's been at least a few questions asked, and hopefully we'll guess it. But each person will get to ask a question until we guess what's correct and what sport they have in their mind. Okay? So to help out, I will share my screen, and here are several Olympic sports. So I will keep my screen large here so that you can see it a little better. But here are the Olympic sports for all of you who maybe don't know the sports, or if you need a little refresher, if you need a little reminder about what some of the Olympic sports are for the Summer Olympics. Here they are. So let's start with Leo. So, Leo, how about you pick a sport, and once you know what sport you're going to do, just let us know that you have one picked out. Did you pick a sport?
Leo, did you pick a sport? Leo, could you unmute? Uh, I don't know what's wrong with Leo, but
Okay. How
maybe we
about,
can ask someone else. Yeah.
yeah, Sandy? How about you? Could you pick a sport? But don't tell us what it is. Just pick one and keep it in your mind.
Okay.
Okay. So now, how about we start with Ray? I think I saw Ray here a little bit. Ray, how about you ask the first question? So ask Sandy a yes or no question, and we'll see if you can guess what her sport is. One question.
呃呃
So Quentin, could you give Ray an example? How do you ask a question like that? So is it
Yeah.
blah blah blah?
Yeah, sure. So maybe like our first question, I'll ask it. So Sandy, is this a team sport?
I think not. Yeah,
Okay, so
no. Yeah.
it is not a team sport. Okay, so I'll guess, is it is it tennis?
No.
Okay, so tennis is not correct. Okay, so now Ray, you ask a question and see if you can guess. So we know it's not a team sport. Okay, that gives us one clue. What's your question, Ray?
uh, where do athletes do these sports? Water or land?
Then
Okay, so not a team sport and it's played or we do it on land. Okay, how about, who wants to ask this? How about Grace? You can ask a question. What question would you like to ask about the sport?
Is it a ball game?
yes.
Okay, it's a ball game. Hmm. What do you think, Grace? What could it be? Do you have an idea?
Football?
No.
Oh, not football. Okay. Let's see if Leo, do you want to try to ask a question instead?
Um, 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 is it using hands?
Uh yes, yes.
Do you use your hands? Do
Uh
you
I
use your hands?
I think you use a tool to hit it.
Okay. So not only a hand, you have to use a tool of some sort. What's your guess, Leo? What do you think?
Um, Badminton.
No.
Not badminton. Okay. How about Protena? Do you want to try to ask a question?
Bertina?
Let me think.
Okay. Think about it just for a second. How about we go back to Barry? We haven't talked to you yet. Barry, what would you like to ask to try to guess?
Uh, is it uh uh is it how many people are wanting?
It's not a team sport.
Okay. So you just play by yourself. Or maybe against one other person. Okay. Hmm. And it's a ball game, and you play it on land.
Teacher, I can try.
Okay, yeah, get it, right?
Is it a golf?
Oh yes.
All right, Ray guessed it. So it was golf this time. Okay, good. So that was just a little warm-up game to get us asking questions and also to just do a little review on our Olympic sports. So now we'll move into the next part of class, which I'm very excited about. So our participants in the last summer section have prepared a few reports. Each one did one report, and they had a choice of three topics. They could either pick their favorite or pick any Olympic sport and talk about that with a few questions, or they could pick a city that has hosted the Olympics before and speak about that city. Or they had one more choice, which was, what was their final choice? Famous Olympian. That's right, famous Olympian. So if you knew of an Olympian and you wanted to talk about a famous Olympian and what they did. Okay? So I will share my screen again. And for this final project, everyone else pay close attention to when your classmates are speaking and try to think of one question. So, similar to how we did this game, where you think of a question to ask your classmates, while they are giving their presentation, think about something that you'd like to know or a question you would like to ask your classmate about their presentation. And at the end, I will call on some students to ask the question. And then you get to answer some questions from your classmates about your presentation. So these questions can be anything like, why do you like that sport so much? Or do you play the sport that they talked about? Or maybe we could ask things like, have you ever been to that city? So we want to just think of some things that we could ask our classmates while we're listening to their presentations. Okay? And so I want everyone to come up with at least one question while you listen to your classmates give their presentations. Okay? So make sure to listen closely.
Okay,
All right.
could you zoom in?
Oh, yes, I will definitely zoom in. So this, let's see. Okay, so these were the options. I hope everyone can see that. These were the options. So favorite Olympic sport, famous Olympian, or best Olympic host city. And these were a couple of things that each student should talk about in their presentation. So would anyone like to go first before I pick someone to go first? Does anyone volunteer? Okay. Well, how about Ray, you get to be lucky number one. Let's start with your presentation today. What option did you choose?
Mm, a famous Olympian.
Famous Olympian. Okay, so everyone, let's listen to Ray and speak about his famous Olympian. And everyone, remember, think about one question you would like to ask Ray once he's done. Okay, Ray.
Uh, I want to introduce an athlete. His name is Roger Federer. Federer has won a total of 20 Grand Slam titles and is one of the best men's players in tennis history. He was number one in the world in singles for 310 weeks, including 237 consecutive weeks of number one in the world. Federer won 8 championships at Wimbledon, and this is an unprecedented record. His one-handed back shot is very elegant. Also, he is a heartthrob.
All
That's all.
right. That's all. So now, what about, can you maybe compare him to another tennis player? Like, let's say my favorite player is Nadal, one of his rivals. So let's say I am a big Nadal fan. Why is Federer better? What does Federer do better than Nadal?
Uh, Federer do much better than Nadal uh, at Wimbledon.
At Wimbledon, yes, he does like Wimbledon a lot. Okay, so he does much better. He does much better than Nadal. Okay, good. So now everyone, we heard Ray speak about Roger Federer. So let's think. What questions can we ask Ray about his topic? So he picked a famous Olympian. So how about Barry? Did you think of a question that you would like to ask Ray?
Mm, do you ever see him?
In person?
Have.
You,
And we'll
you
say,
have
have you ever seen them? Barry?
Have you ever seen him?
Uh, I haven't seen Federer in person. I just saw him on TV. Yes.
I've just seen him on TV. Seen him on TV. Okay, only on TV. Good question, Barry. And how about, let's see, Sandy, what could you ask Ray about his presentation?
Uh, uh, what event make you acquainted with him?
Now, Sandy, are you asking what event made him like Roger
Uh,
Federer?
uh, like, how make Ray know him?
yeah.
Oh, okay. How did you know? How did you find out or how did you learn about Roger Federer? When did you first see him? Something like that?
Uh, I love Pete Sampras before, and once I saw a very a very young teenager, he won Sampras in Wimbledon. I was really surprised at that. So uh, I I was crazy for Roger Federer from then on.
Good, good. So he beat Pete Sampras. And so once you saw that, you knew you were a Roger Federer fan. Okay. Very good. Good job, Ray. I had a feeling that you might pick a famous athlete. I had a feeling you might.
Me too. Me too.
Okay. All right. So how about we move on then to Barry? Since you asked the first question, how about you go next?
Uh, mm, I want to pick the topic is one. Mm, Uh, the sport I want to talk is badminton.
Badminton. That one?
Yes.
Okay. Badminton.
Uh, uh, you can play it alone and or you can play with your friend. Make a small team to play. And uh, and when you playing, you need to mm, don't let the uh don't let the ball uh throw throw to the ground, or you will let your uh or you will lose 1 point. And when a player has 21 point and he win.
All right. So 21 points wins the match, wins the game in badminton. Okay. So how about Leo? Oh, Barry, are you finished with yours?
Yes.
Okay. I thought so. Okay. So Leo, what's something that you could ask Barry about badminton?
What is your favorite player about badminton?
Uh, I don't have a favorite player.
Hmm. Or no favorite player. What's your favorite part? What do you like most about badminton?
Mm, Uh, uh, because I like to play it. So I think the favorite part is when I playing the badminton.
All right, when you play badminton. Good. All right. Thank you, Barry. Okay, does anyone else have a question for Barry? Maybe one more question that we could ask Barry about badminton or why he chose that. Oh, Grace, go ahead. I see you raised your hand.
So, do you play badminton very often or?
Uh, I play badminton before, but now because I don't have time, so I play badminton seldom.
Dad,
Okay, make sure you.
let's say
Oh, sounds like we have a student unmuted, but good. Okay, so you used to play very often, or you used to play, but now you don't have a place to play anymore.
I don't have time to play.
Oh, no time. Very busy. Okay. All right. Well, thank you, Barry, for your presentation. Thank you. Okay. All right, Sandy, you're next. Oh, I think you might be muted.
Sorry. Today I want to introduce my favorite sports to everyone. Yeah, and my favorite sport is long jump. Yeah. And long jump is an individual sport and is composed of four parts, including run up, jump, the act when you are in the air, and landing. Run up can give you power to jump farther, and jump can help you move farther. And the act when you are in the air is important. It can not only help you move farther, but also prevent you from landing quickly. Yeah, and having an accurate landing pose will not make you lose a few centimeters. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Okay. And uh, do I have to compare it to another sport?
Oh, no, if you want to, since if you have that prepared, I would love to hear it. But I
Uh,
also heard you use some comparatives in your first part of your presentation as well.
oh, okay.
Okay,
Okay. Okay.
okay,
Next. Okay.
next. So now who can ask a question about long jump? How about we start with Leo this time?
Um, why are you so like long jumps? I'm very
Oh,
curious.
okay. Because I used to be a long jumper when I was an elementary school student. Yeah. So, um, yeah, and also I good at it.
You were, oh, nice. So what was I have a question. What was your favorite part of the long jump? Because when you're in the air, you
Uh,
have to move,
yeah,
and then there are
yes.
lots of things to do. What was your favorite part?
I think it's the ask when you are in the air. Yeah.
Oh, yes. Oh, so cool. You're the first person I've known who does long jump. I've never known a long jumper before. All right. How about anyone else? Does anyone else have a question? Our new students, feel free. Oh, yes. Yes, I see a couple hands raised. I don't.
Bertina. Yeah,
Mhm.
Bertina. And the Ray. Yeah. Bertina first.
How long can you jump?
About 4 or 8 meters. Yeah.
Wow, so long.
Oh, wow. Yes. Wow, you were very good. And I
Because
think. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
yeah, but it's a long time ago. Yeah.
And Ray, you also raised your hand.
Oh, uh, what is the world record about this sport?
World record?
Yes.
Sorry, can you say one more time? Yeah.
What is the world record about this sport?
For this sport. For this sport. Mhm. So just in case, Sandy, the world record is the farthest someone has
Yes.
ever jumped.
Yeah, because I don't know its history. Yeah.
That's okay. It's okay to say that we don't know sometimes. So we could just say, so you don't know the world record, but it's probably pretty far. How far did other people jump when you were in the high jump? What were some of the other distances that you knew people could jump?
uh, uh, okay. When I in the 5th grade, yeah, I'm enjoying the concert, like yeah, concert, and I'm enjoying the long jump concert, and yeah, it's many people, many people jump longer than me.
Okay. Well, that's okay. Yeah. Well, you know what? I just very quickly looked it up, and Ray and Sandy, to answer the question, the world record for long jump is currently 8.95 meters. 8.95 meters. It was by a 19-year-old. A 19-year-old, Mike Powell, has the longest long jump. Or he was 19 when he broke the record. Mhm. Mike Powell. So, very good long jump. That's an interesting sport that you picked. So I'm glad. It's a very interesting topic. Thank you, Sandy. Okay, Leo, tell us your
Uh,
project.
my topic is favorite Olympic sport. Um, my favorite Olympic sport is basketball. Because I like to play the basketball a lot, and I watch the basketball games too. Um, Also, I think watch games from various countries is really exciting. Then I believe that basketball always um, better than individual sports because I think watch the team cooperate with each other on the field and use the teamwork to win the game is more interesting. Yeah, that is all.
Nice. All right, who would like to be first to ask Leo a question?
You can't be serious. Serious
Oh,
is a
well, please make sure that you're mute, everyone. I hear, please make sure that you're muted. Okay, so who would like to be first to ask Leo a question? All right, Protina, No, is that Pertina?
Ray.
Ray, sorry.
Ray, go ahead.
Oh, okay. Leo, when it is in Olympic Games, do you feel oh no, when Team America play with its competitor, do you always feel it's so boring because America uh is too
Powerful.
strong?
Um, I feel more excited to watch America's teams games because I really like the NBA players who plays for their countries. So I don't feel boring when they playing other countries. Um, um, yeah, just that. All of it, they are so strong.
All right. So you don't feel bored. You don't feel bored watching the Olympic teams because the players on the Olympic team are the NBA players who you like to watch. So you get to see them play together on a team. Okay, that makes sense. Anyone else have a question for Leo? I'll ask one really quick. Who do you think will win this year at the Olympics? Because for the American Olympic team, at least, the NBA finals are happening, the playoffs and the finals for NBA are happening right now. So many players might choose not to play in the Olympics because the NBA finals are happening around the same time. So do you think America or the US will still win?
Um, I think America will win, but they will not be easier than before. Because like LeBron James, Stephen Curry don't play for Olympics, so they will win so easy.
Okay, they won't win so easy. Yeah. Yeah, it won't be as easy as before. It won't be as easy as before. Okay. Okay. Very good. Now, I want to make sure, I believe that is our last student who will have a project this evening. Did anyone else from our previous class prepare a project to discuss today? I know I've talked to the four people who were in our last class, but I just want to make sure that I'm not missing anyone.
I don't think so.
Okay. Okay. Good. Well then, before we move back and talk a little bit more with our new students in the group, in the beginning of our last session, our first homework assignment was to complete the K and W letters of our KWL chart. So does everyone remember the KWL chart? Let me share my screen so you can see. Okay, so the KWL chart, it has three questions if you remember. What I know, what I want to know, and lastly, what I learned. So, for those of you in last session, I want to do the L letter. What did you learn? So, let's begin with, oh, I see
Barry,
someone raised a hand.
Barry raised his hand. Barry, you wanna go first?
No.
No? but okay, it's an accident, I think.
That's an accident. Okay. Well, would anyone like to go first? So, what is something that you learned in our unit that we just did? So, we learned some things throughout the our last 3 weeks together. I'll give you a minute to think. You can think about it for just a minute, and then
Sandy,
we'll
you
talk.
go first.
I learned uh, uh, I learned hosting the Olympics game is a difficult thing, yeah, because it need to take a lot of hard work on it.
Yeah, it's difficult to be the host city. That is very true. It costs a lot of money and there's a lot to do to prepare. So it is difficult. Okay. Good, Sandy. Leo, what about you? What did you learn?
Um, I learned the players who play for Olympics, their um, their diet is very important.
Their diets are very important. Yeah,
Yeah.
very true. Both for their energy, so that they have enough nutrients to fuel their bodies, and then also just because they can't eat too many bad foods, or else that will hurt them too, and they won't be ready for competition. So that's very true. Okay, Ray.
Uh, I learned some ways to use English grammar after after teacher correct my homework.
Okay, good. I'm glad. I'm glad that you took something from that. And I hope that everyone had a chance to look at some of those assignments. I know that some of you even resubmitted your assignments, so I appreciate all of your hard work with completing the homework because I know that some of those worksheets were rather long. So it took some time. So good job, and I appreciate everyone being so diligent with their homework assignments. Okay. Barry, how about you? We'll come back to you now.
Mm, uh, mm, I know Olympics have winter and summer.
Yeah. Winter and Summer Olympics. Good. And the events in each one are different. And so there are a lot of sports that happen for the Summer Olympics and others that happen in the Winter Olympics. So very good. All right, class. So now since we're toward the end, I want to give our new students a little bit of time to introduce themselves. So, for those of you who just joined us during the class, welcome. And I know that we spoke to Protina, Grace, and Angel, but there are a few more new students. So, if I didn't just call your name, let's all take turns introducing ourselves and we can all welcome you to class. Okay?
Okay, so who wants to go first? Evan? Uh, do you want to introduce yourself? Evan, could you unmute? Unmute 就是打开麦克风，介绍一下你自己，很简短的。因为我不太认识，所以黄彦寻吗？彦寻。Okay, Percy. Yeah, Percy.
Person.
Yeah, Percy. Could you introduce yourself?
Okay, my name is Percy, and I'm 13 years old.
and I like to do some baking in my free time. I just made a bread yesterday, but I think I failed a little bit. And that's all. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Percy. Welcome. You would have enjoyed a unit that we had 2 sessions ago, all about cooking and learning cooking words. So that would have been fun for you. But I'm welcome to class. I hope that your bread turns out better next time. I'm sure it will. I'm sure it will. Okay. Who's
Okay,
next?
Grace, I don't think you introduced yourself, so
Okay.
go ahead.
Hi, I'm Grace. Nice to meet you. And my interest is to play sport and learn a language and listen to K-pop music. And that's all. Thank you.
Awesome, playing sports. So, Grace, what sports do you play?
Table tennis and basketball.
Wow, all right, all right. And do you play for your school or with others in the neighborhood? Do you play on your school team?
No, I played before, but I didn't play now.
Okay, okay. You don't play now, but you played before. Okay, that's good. All right, who else do we have? Any other new students that we haven't heard from?
So, Bettina, did you talk about yourself at the beginning of our class?
Uh, Hello, my name is Bertina. I'm 30 years old and I'm in uh, art class. So my I interested in drawing, and my favorite subject is math. I think it's not difficult, and I always watch TV in my free time. I like to watch K-drama, and thank you.
K-drama. All right. So we've got K-drama, BTS. I think we are going to have some interesting conversations in this next session. Very much so. All right. Anyone else that we can get to know?
同学，如果你要参与的，现在就是请你打开摄影机啊，然后介绍一下自己。如果你没有打开，我们没办法看到你哦。Okay, so I just told students who would like to participate, but who are too shy to keep their camera on.
Yeah.
Okay, 10 more seconds for you. If you do not turn on your camera, then we will move on. No? Okay.
No? Okay. Well, that we are getting toward the end of our class today, so I just want to say to everyone, to our students who were in the last session, good job, everyone, with what you did in this session. I know we spoke a little bit about homework, but all of you turned in your assignments all the time. I loved reading your answers and helping to correct those. So definitely keep that going. And I hope that in our next few weeks, we'll get to have some more exciting topics and learn some more and hopefully make it as fun as possible for the group. So welcome, everyone. And if anyone has any questions for me before we leave, feel free to ask. It can be about anything.
Oh, I just saw Eric join us. So Eric Wang, do you want to introduce yourself? Eric， 可以听到我的声音吗？
麦克风打不开，这时候就卡住。哎呀
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Maybe
Well,
next time.
Eric,
Oh,
oh.
I think this is muted.
Okay. Well, maybe we will get to meet Eric next
Okay.
time.
All right.
So class also just and I think Luke has probably already mentioned this, but we do use Google Classroom, and so make sure to check there for anything that is posted. I will make sure to post class notes in our class presentations in the classroom. And then also when we have homework assignments, I will post those in the classroom and you can turn in homework there. And so that is where we will begin next week as far as our lessons and what we talk about in our actual content will begin next week. So thank you for those who
Yeah.
participated tonight. I know that it was a little bit of the last session at the beginning of the new session, but thank you for participating, and I will see you next week.
Yeah, just give me 1 minute, okay? 同学，如果你还没有加入我们的 Google Classroom，我们呢有那个 class code，有那个课程代码，所以你到那个 Google Classroom，然后你自己输入课程代码加入我们，那老师会在上面改大家的作业，所以如果你有认真写的，老师会给你 comments，好的，欢迎这个你加入 Google Classroom，然后我们有一张总课表，你所有的课都可以上去观课啊，但是这一堂课就是给大家参与的一个机会，这是可以真正打开麦克风跟老师对话的。那其他的课我们是欢迎大家观课。好，有没有问题？没有问题的话，我们打开麦克风，然后说 Thank you, Teacher Quentin。来，预备，来。Thank
Thank
you.
you, Teacher Quentin.
Yes. Well, thank you all. It was good to see you and nice to meet those of you who are new. Can't wait to continue working with you. See you next
Okay.
week.
See you next week. Bye bye.
Bye bye.